Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Haven't enjoyed your day so far, and yesterday a lot of different things transpired. John, a professional Call of Duty player for a number of years, in a lot of people's books a top 10 player of all time, definitely arguably a top 2 SMG player of all time, right up there with Scump, World Championship winner back in 2016. For some reason, which is still unclear, he was not able to compete throughout the Modern Warfare season, apparently banned for whatever reason from the CDL circuit, but after some health issues, seems like now he is back in competitive form, and well, is looking to maybe run through challenges and get onto a pro team at some point in the near future. Somewhat unclear whether the CDL will allow that to be possible, but certainly looks like he is ready to get back in the ring, and I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts on where he should exactly land in the CDL, maybe in this season, maybe in the next season, in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new, as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, to mention this, yesterday we talked about, okay, Standoff could be coming back in these supposedly 8 new maps that are going to get remastered, well, 8 new maps, 8 old maps from Call of Duty history. Seems like these 5 could be coming in here from Long Sensation, so Jungle. I mean, I don't know what their obsession is with Jungle. They bring it back every single time. It was a good public match map on Black Ops 1 because the chopper gunner was so fun, but apart from that, it wasn't really anything spectacular. Firing range looking like it's going to come back as well, so this was a competitive map all the way back in Black Ops 1, Search and Destroy especially, and well, there are some questions whether it could actually work. I think in Black Ops 4 it was played in Search and Destroy tournaments and stuff. It was never in the competitive rotation. I don't think it would be phenomenal, to be honest, for competitive. For pubs, firing range is always pretty good though. Then you've got the question of, okay, Slums and Standoff, right? If Standoff comes back, it's going to be phenomenal, probably for every mode. Slums wasn't really played in Search, but in Hardpoint it was fantastic as well, so I wonder when these maps will come back. But if and when they do, I think we can certainly expect them to be added into the rotation. Hijacked as well was played in Hardpoint, at least at the start of the game, but then was taken out. So definitely some good things coming here. Slums and Standoff, if they do come back, are probably going to find their way into the rotation over the coming months here. Also to mention yesterday, very interestingly, Havoc for Neptune on the Florida Mutineers. Havoc on this team for a while now. They honestly were looking pretty decent in scrims for a couple of weeks, but supposedly they fell off relatively recently, and it seems like Havoc may have been benched for Neptune on this squad. They brought in Neptune only a few days ago as their substitute player, former Halo professional, only 18, up and coming, cracked young kid. You know how it goes. The kind of next Shotzzy I'm sure people have their eyes on going forwards, given what Shotzzy did last season, and Neptune in a similar way maybe is following a similar path right here. But he was playing with the Mutineers last night in scrims, and Havoc was maybe hoping that they wouldn't have such a good time in scrims, maybe he can get his opportunity back in the starting lineup. They might have just been testing Neptune out, as some teams have done earlier this season. We saw, Toronto Ultra, for example, in scrims, pretty much cycling out their entire lineup just to see what could work, with Insight being their substitute right now. But yesterday in scrims, they looked very, very good indeed. They're playing up against OpTic Gaming on stream. I think they had a decent result. I think the scrim set went 6-2 or 5-3 in favour of Florida, so they were certainly looking very solid indeed. I know Slacked was hosting, but well, you can see Neptune right here in this clip, showing off that Halo finesse. Envoy's here at top green on Garrison. Neptune just flies out, kills him, hops up top green, slides out top green, and just absolutely destroys Dashy in in that favourable gunfight position for him. And we saw Neptune do this a couple of times throughout that scrim set, right? So Neptune looked pretty good. Could be a great target for the Mutineers to keep in their starting lineup going forward. So if Neptune's looking this good early on in the title, that certainly spells some scary things maybe for the opposition. And you could also argue if John is coming back at some point, you maybe bring John into this team as well, maybe add some more SMG firepower. Florida could be looking very solid indeed in their mission to compete with some of the best teams in the game right now, which of course is going to be a difficult thing to do. So John said this a couple of months ago: just know that when I'm 100% ready, I will be coming back with none of the health issues or distractions I was low-key playing with before. Gotta get my mind and health perfect with the help of my second home trust, the processor. As Clacer says right here, this is back in October, before the game even launched. We were talking about it at the time, like, look, John didn't play last season, supposedly was banned. Is he going to be coming back? Is he going to be on the starting lineup? Was linked to New York for quite a while. They wanted to get him into the team, but well, didn't happen for whatever reason. But yesterday, John comes out with some confirmations. Final with an IV boost. We are back, baby. Want to thank APOC and the doctor you can see in this image right here for helping me this year, along with everyone they have me working with to take control of my health. I appreciate and seeing the love all you were sending me throughout last year. Time to work towards these trophies, right? So it looks like he wants to get back into the competitive competing scene, as an APOC says himself, one of John's friends for these last several years, or last decade really. If only people knew how difficult it was to hold him back from playing for as long as I did at the advice of doctors. Mission accomplished, and my boy getting back to doing what he loves, competing in Call of Duty. So not really clear what John's health issues exactly were these last several months, and it's still not clear exactly why he was banned from competing in the CDL, or if they're even going to allow him back into the CDL, right? But as APOC says right here, and as John seems to be intimating, look, he's going to at least compete in challenges this season. That's probably allowed by the CDL, and then maybe next year he gets to compete back in the Pro League. I don't don't really know. It's very unclear. We never get any announcements on stuff like this, and I imagine John isn't going to come out public with exactly what was going on behind the scenes. But certainly a player to keep your eye on, right, given the tenure that he has in Call of Duty history, and well, as Crone says right here, which CDL team would you like to see him on? The discussion was certainly if he was allowed to compete last season, Seattle would have made perfect sense for some more SMG firepower that John has brought to pretty much every team he has competed on in Call of Duty history. As Parasite says, another OG, yo at John, because well, Parasite in the challenger side right now, that's probably where John will have to start off his journey once again, and it did seem like New York were quite happy to get him straight onto a team. John, of course, a legendary player, respected very much by the professional players in the scene. I imagine they would be quite happy to get him straight on board to a professional team once again if the opportunity was there, and especially with expansion potentially coming in next season, it seems very likely to me that John will find his way back into the Pro League. And as Breaking Point say right here, to break down some of these stats, he is one of only 2 players, the other being Scump, to win a pro event on every single Treyarch Call of Duty game. So if he can't compete in the Pro League this season, that's well, the responsibility lies on Scump to continue the legacy. But yeah, honestly, a legendary player, especially in Treyarch games, to be honest. John has been especially good, winning the World Championship on Team Envy back in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 in 2016. This is just a look back at his career, winning championships since 2011, through the Black Ops 1 days, through Black Ops 2 UMG Dallas, playing with so many players, of course, over the years, and then into the late part of Black Ops 3, then that Team Envy squad of JCap, Slasher, aBeZy, and John did so well, nearly repeated the trick in Infinite Warfare as well, coming second at the Stage 2 playoffs in the World Championship 2017, won CDL Birmingham actually in World War II on LG, then in Black Ops 4 won the Fort Worth event. Then we believe he was banned from competing for whatever reason, but if he does come back this time, which team should he potentially be on? There's also some questions about, okay, like, should these rosters be forced, should these league teams be forced to have academy rosters such that, you know, potentially John and other professional players that are, well, no longer professional players, let's say, trying to get back into the Pro League, have to be on an academy roster, or could be on an academy roster of some of these CDL teams? Would make a lot of sense to me if at some point the COD League say, look, you have to have an academy. Some teams have an academy, some teams don't. It's well, pretty few and far between. Los Angeles Guerrillas, for example, has one. The other teams have been kind of skeptical to do so, but if they forced every team to have an academy, and then all those academies competed in like their own tier 2 league, like now we're really talking, right? But if you had to choose one team right now to put John into the starting lineup of, which team would you pick, right? Some people are talking about Los Angeles Thieves, especially pre-season. The fact is, okay, maybe they need an SMG player. You've got Slashy on main ER, you've got Kenny might be the flex, you've then got TJ and potentially John as your SMGs. That could work out well, especially given them, well, Slash's tenure with John back in the day, winning the World Championship, as we did just look at. So that move for John might make sense. As I say, I don't imagine it's going to be happening this season. There are questions as well. I mean, questions for New York, for example, when the whole discussion was, okay, John, maybe Pharaoh was an option actually at the time, Hydra as well, which they did ended up getting, and now it looks like Asim is going to be playing at least in the Kickoff Classic before Hydra can get out to the States to play when the season actually does begin. But there were certainly some questions there. Look, if we get John and, well, Hydra sitting there, do we actually start John? Is John going to be as good as he used to be? Is he going to be the player that he was when he when he stepped away from competing? And certainly throughout Black Ops 4, you could say, okay, maybe he wasn't the player that he was in Black Ops 3, for example, where arguably he was one of the best SMG or one of the best flex players in the game at a time, because he used the HVK as well quite a bit on certain maps as well. So will John be the player that he once was? Will he still be competing for championships like he used to? And should these organizations, well, effectively take a chance on this player which has been stepping away from Call of Duty for a number of years? But certainly cool to see him at least back in the realms of possibility for competing. And if he can compete through the challenger side this season, I think that's going to be another exciting name to keep your eyes on, in addition to all the other drama that goes on down there. Just to finish off the video with a couple of things, ILLey says this, back in Dallas next week. So ILLey moving back down to Texas as well. There's been some questions regarding here, when was ILLey exactly going to get here, given that all the players have to be competing pretty much from the same facility this year for the Pro League matches, all in the same place. And speaking of the Dallas Empire, this is pretty interesting from Crimsix. Shout out Tony Flame and Vonderhaar for the exclusive player skins for our team Dallas Empire. I wonder if Clayster got one of these actually, but this is pretty cool in game that these players got right here, like a world champ thing. For some reason, Crim took a picture of this on his phone. Not really sure he didn't screenshot it or whatever on his Elgato or something. But this is this like 74U variant. It's kind of ugly to be honest, but it's pretty brash, and it says undisputed here on the hanger, as Crim was pointing out. So kind of nice, I guess, but at least really cool to see that they have something in the game to commemorate that World Championship victory for these players. Intrigued to hear your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm to know you enjoy this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.
Please feel top with that. He was hard aiming.
Was 1,000,000% back there.
Yeah, got him. He was top left.
He was sure.
No, on their side. He's hurt their side. Front yellow crate.
Oh!
So y'all great.
Dude, two there, two there.
Crossing.
Both early bullet, both early bullet. No, no, you just went row.
He's your head.
They double challenge me, champs. No,
I didn't
they're
know,
both
I didn't
hurt.
know.
Our side, there's two our side.
Laying down.
I got him.
No, no, our side, nice, good job.
Bottom left,
16,
right,
17.
left, dead.
They gotta hit. They gotta get on a point. They gotta get on a point.
Go on. They can't go B, let me tell you.
No, they
Not
cannot.
They're gonna be.
Cause I'm here.
Stop playing easy.
Not playing you.
Tell me. He's our
You
side.
wouldn't dare.
He's our side.
No, behind
Really?
me. He's on B. Easy. This guy's routes are unmatched, immaculate. An aBeZy wannabe, if you will.
The BZ
Dead
one,
ass,
man.
Carlos just went rogue there.